in your heart and a smile on your face. Better cut them puppies loose, baby. By golly, it's the last Champs Corner of the season, of the offseason, I should say, because we've got college football on Saturday. We got a top 25 matchup on Saturday. Come on, baby. Boys and girls, good to see you. We get info on DJ Lagway. And what we're hearing is he has been throwing the rock. Full stack load, if you will. QB2, still up in arms, okay? Still up for arms. We get unis, boys. We're going all the way back. We got some throwbacks we're bringing into it. Kermine and McClain, in the words of Napier, yeah, we've got 3 starters, and he's one of them. Come on! In championship caliber. That's the motto of today's show. We're going to talk all about it. We got a champion we're bringing on the show. You already know, we already bring a championship caliber type of energy to every single show. But Napier decided to bring his own type of caliber, and I'm all in for it, boys. If you can't tell, I'm jazzed up. I did a quick little poll before for the chat. I like to get the gauge of where you guys are at. The question was, how fired are you up for the season? Your options were hell yeah, spit on me, or spot the ball. I like to get a good gauge of where this fan base is at. Y'all said spot the ball. It's spot the damn ball it is. Stephen Harris, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go, baby. Come on. Baby.
Hey, man. We here, man. We here. Hey, survive. Offseason, spring, all that good stuff. News, controversy. We here, man.
Bootgate. I mean, you name it. I mean, arrest. I mean, we did it. Yeah. Hey, a basketball championship.
Yeah, man. Yeah, all that. We survived, man, for one of the greatest times in the history of man. College football season is upon us, man. I'm excited. Shout out to the Gators. Shout out to all the players, coaching staff, keeping y'all head this offseason. We had a couple hiccups, it's to be expected, but I think overall we handled it with class this offseason, and we had a purpose and a mission in mind, and I think those guys honed in, and we're poised to do something great, man. I just needed all to translate, and we get our chance to see it, man. So, yeah, man, let's go, baby.
I'm fired up, Steve. I know you're fired up. I'm pumped for this show. I think we're going to have a lot of great conversations tonight. Real quick, before I forget, because I know that I will. I always give these boys shout-outs, but they kicked it off today in the presser. I'm pretty sure it was Cam that went first. Cam Parker came out and hit him with an absolute dagger of a question. That's my dog. Just hit him with it. I said, yes, sir. Zach Goodall got in there. And then, of course, our boy Dylan All dropped another. They kind of just teed it up 1, 2, 3. I was pumped with their questions, and I felt like we got a lot of great things from their questions. So kudos to those gentlemen for being boots on the ground and
y'all for sure.
Handling their business. It's been a pleasure. I feel like we're going to have this same type of excitement next Monday because it's the kickoff for Florida football, right? But I think our excitement for this Monday is warranted as well. I think we've...
Oh, yeah.
Steve and I, we listen, I kind of like to give you guys behind the scenes. Mondays come around and, we're in the middle of June. And it's like, yo, Steve, what you want to talk about?
what we going to do?
I'll send him something. He goes, slow news week. I see. Okay, bet. I'll see you at 8:05, baby. And look, I feel like the chemistry and the love that we have for each other in this made it easy. But look, there's some weeks that go by. You're like,
for sure.
So Steve, hair looks good.
It's dry. Yeah, it's dry. I tell you what. Shout out to the fans, man. The Hot Top fans. You guys make it all possible. You make it easy to come on here. You guys show up. And you guys are in the comment section. So I appreciate the comments, reading the comments. That definitely gives us the energy when it's slow to keep going. So you guys' excitement. We try to bring guests. We try to do our best to get guys on the show that you can hear from, past, present, and future. Sometimes the timing is not right, but like my guy Earl, we were supposed to have him this Sunday to have the show for you guys. But timing, people have family and stuff, but he will be coming. I checked in with him, so you guys just hold tight. Mr. Ohio State helmet off himself will be coming on the show, and it's perfect right before the season. To get you guys juiced up, man, run down memory lane of 06 class, kicking it off and whooping some butt against Ohio State. and hopefully these guys can do the same. I know this team for me reminds me of that 06 bunch where people didn't give them a chance. Inside we knew, but the outside world didn't really give them a chance. Of course, they got a lot more buzz now with DJ being our starter. That generate more buzz than our 06 class.
Sure.
If Tebow was coming as the starter, then it'll probably be a different story. But this team, the way they work, the resiliency, I'm just excited about that. So thank you to the fans. Thank you all to the guys that watch High Talk Sports, man, making it through. And we're right here, baby.
Amen to that, man. The people that watch, that tune in, they like you said, they make it easy. But real quick, wife's struggling here. We gotta update. The little man cut off the locks.
Hey.
And prep for the new season.
Oh man, look at
you. Lovey.
Okay.
Look.
Okay, I see you, man. Go Gators.
Hey, Steven.
Hi, Steven.
Go Gators, baby.
Go Gators.
Hey, boss. Go Gators, man. You look sharp, boy.
What time?
Yeah, let's go.
Game time.
Yeah, baby.
Game time, baby.
Yep, we cut the
Good
flow
man
off.
Look sharp, bro.
Thank you. He said you look
We
sharp.
so glad he looked like his mama.
I like that.
Yeah, we so glad he looked like his mama.
Hey, I'm right here. Say thank you.
Oh, my bad.
Have you?
Daddy.
Hang tight.
Hi, Daddy.
All right, boys. There he is, ready to rock and roll.
Mama and his wits from his daddy. That's good. Good.
That's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. All right, real quick. Christian, 20 months of membership. We're so back. We got Peyton, $2. We are so back. See y'all in 2 weeks. Absolutely. We're all going to be there. Tailgate. I'll get that information out ASAP. It's going to be the same parking spot as we were for the spring game. I don't have the exact number again, but if you guys were there, that we're going to be the exact same spot, burning the whole thing down. We're going to be there early. Sir?
I was right across from where the buses pull up for Gator Walk.
Yeah, it's right. It's a great spot. I think it's one of the best because it's right close to everything, and we're off kind of our own little area. We can be crazy. We're gonna have a watch party for the Texas-Ohio State game at noon, and have a great time. So come be a part of that. $5 from Daniel Riera. Football's here, baby. Thanks for a great show on the off season.
Yeah,
I'm not reading the other part, but yeah, thank you for your $5, Daniel. I'm not reading that nonsense. And the rookie, the sponsor, he's got a question. I think we missed this question a couple of shows ago. But Steve, when did the Chucky doll thing start? I've seen that question be asked a handful of times now.
Yeah, no, I did. I'm not sure exactly when it started. I don't know. I don't know when it started. I just think it was just like one of those things that somebody said, "Hey, let me bring the doll," and just kind of caught on. I'm not sure when it started, but it's one of those traditions that I won't mind keeping going. Somebody to bring the doll. I don't mind.
I didn't see it much last year. But no, I think actually, Jackson had it a lot. Jackson had it.
Cam had it.
Yeah. $5 from Sorley.
It might have started with him, if I'm not mistaken. The first time I seen it really happened.
It went farther back than that. I don't know either. I have no clue.
Who's the last before him you saw with it?
Javon had it for sure. Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter. Yeah.
Sorley, suck this Gator eggplant. Go Gators. I love it. Boys, 215 strong. Let's smash that like button. Let's have a dang good show here tonight, boys. All right, we got a lot to go over, a lot of great things to discuss that I'm super excited about. Nate, again, great questions from our guys with boots on the ground that allows for us to dive into this. So the first thing that I really thought was cool, and when Billy was talking about it, is he spoke about just where we've come from this season. And you think about, we kind of just went over it, man. It's been 8 months since January, since we've had this turnover in the season, and just the progress. We've watched this team. We've talked about this team day in and day out. And that was the question that Cam led with, which I love, was like, we've been asking it. I've asked every single one that's been on here that has been through all these offseason camp, like, what's the difference between the previous ones? And I think Cam was like, you know what? This is a great question for Billy, because it is. He's closer. Yeah. That's one more layer that's closer than the rest of us. So it goes, where does this team stack up against past teams? I think everyone asks, like, hey, how do you like this team? Where do you feel? But asking them where they stack up in post-fall camps, right? And again, he's got to be careful, because you can never say, well, last year sucked. You never want to do that. He loves every team in its own accord. But his biggest thing that I took away was that he said, look, there's this team has a lot of the one guys. We got a group of one guys that are ready to go. And I feel like that's telling us, like, the ones on this team are dialed in and are a special kind of group. He goes, the secondary, the rotational guys, is where things need to to ramp up, which we'll dive into when we break down the scrimmage a little bit more, because he talked about that on our Sunday show. We spoke about how that scrimmage had a lot of twos, a lot of ones were sitting out, and now hearing him talk again, we think was it an injury thing. It felt like it was more of a need than anything because of how good everyone else is just in sync and dialed in. It was more of a purpose. And I wanted to ask you that. I've got a lot of great questions for you tonight because of this progress. He even talked about this offensive catching up with the defense, which if you recall, we spoke how the defense kind of won scrimmage one. You're like, that's normal.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to ask you about that. But is that going into this last scrimmage, going back to, let's talk about that 06 year, right? I don't know how the OTAs or these fall camps ran. If they run, I feel like you guys didn't stop back then. But did some of those senior groups kind of tear off a little bit towards the end of fall camp going into regular season? Is that a normal thing? Talk to us.
As far as like the veterans and how much work they get.
Yeah, for that last scrimmage, is it?
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be periods within that scrimmage where you expect your guys to show up. It may be 4 or 5 plays. Like, hey, we're going to do 7-on-7. The starters, you're going to get these 4 plays, but they got to be crisp, maximum communication. You know what I mean? So it definitely does taper off towards the end and those last scrimmages, but you're expecting your starters to give game day reps for whatever plays that they are in or whatever period that is. And then your look team is supposed to be doing the same. Like everyone knows that, hey, these are the plays that we need to go out. So this period is going to be high intensity. You know what I mean? And then the other parts of the day is really focused on getting those 2s and 3s where they need to be. It's maximum leadership from your veterans, maximum leadership from your seniors or redshirt juniors or juniors, teaching these guys, and the emphasis on communication, being where you be, alignment, assignment, and technique. So it's not so much on the veterans, but you do have your plays throughout each period where it should be game-like situations going on.
So it sounds like it's the practice has a little bit more organization to it, right? Because you're more defined on where things are, where things are needed. Where maybe scrimmage one in the first few practices, like we just got to get out there and get in reps. We got to figure out who's who, what's what. And so once this scrimmage is like, you want to hear that, hey, these guys are getting more reps, is because the ones are going in, they're still working, but the workload may be less, and it's not necessarily less, but it's being more intensified to a certain area. So it may appear to be less.
And you can only do that when you're confident in the guys that are other ones.
Yeah.
When they've proved, but you do that throughout the weeks. Like that first week of camp, I know just from hearing stuff, it was high intensity. I'm talking high. If you were not a starter, it probably was the worst week of practice for you ever. You were unsure about yourself. You didn't know if you were going to even make it. I just remember seeing a clip that Florida Victorious put out of one of the offensive linemen, and they saying, how is camp going so far? And he said, humbling.
Yeah, Roderick, Big Rod.
That was the greatest thing for me to hear, because I wanted to hear that. When people say, oh, it's just a breeze, is this, that, that's rah fluff stuff. If your camp is just a breeze, then we're not pushing you hard enough. And, but the guys who said it, you got to know their personalities, and won't say, oh, it's great, it's just going good. You got to know those are the dogs. You got to know their personalities. But for these other guys that are trying to earn the spot, trying to prove that they belong, it should be a humbling experience, because we got some gators on both sides of the ball that are going to give you a run for your money. So that first week of camp is really going to tell what type of camp you're going to have, if the leaders are already fired up, stepping up. If the coach got to get you going, or midway through that week, he has to have a team meeting or put you guys together and say, hey, this is not going how it needs to be, then there's an issue. I didn't see none of that. The energy was always high. And so that's a great sign.
Outside of that one clip from Chapman, I felt like we had more conversations and more things pop up over the last couple of years of coaches having to get into somebody, of accountability. There was none of that. Outside of that one little just clip that was pulled of a random Tuesday, right? Of Chapman just fired up.
And to that clip, that was to be expected. Chapman is one of those guys and one of those voices that has to get every drop of juice out of it. You know what I mean? We gonna juice you, and then we gonna take the pulp that came from the juice and juice that. We may add a little more water to it and then juice that. We need all the flavor. If you guys ever juiced anything to make juice, you can add a little more water to it just to run it through again and get all the flavor out of it. That's what Chapman is there to do. There's no doubt in my mind that that day these guys have been putting in work. If you listen to what he's saying, it's hot. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. But we don't care. Winning doesn't care about the circumstance of the day. It doesn't care about the conditions. And so I appreciate Chapman for knowing that, boy, I know it sucks to be out here today, but I might not even want to be out here, but I'm finna be fired up. You won't know the difference. And so that's just necessary.
Now, talk to me about these next 2 weeks, because we're going to go into a dark period where we're not going to get any more information. We're not going to get any more practice clips. I think we'll get another presser next week, right, per usual. Yeah. But the difference between the season and what we've had is we've had clips in between that to carry us through. We've got nothing because school starts this week, and so practices get moved to the afternoon. What's the thought process for a player? Like, how are these practices now? What can people kind of, when they're sitting there on a Friday or a Thursday at work, what are the boys doing on a Thursday right now?
We're still competing. The lifting kind of goes down as far as how hard you're lifting. But right now, everything is really mental. You're still going to get your couple plays in every period that are going to be full speed. And then it'll taper back to 80%. But right now, it's just all mental, letting these guys get the class, show up on time, readjust to their schedule. Still just heavy emphasis on hydrating and taking care of your body, getting rid of those nicks and bruises. I know it's a lot of guys are going to came out of this thing bruised up. You know what I mean? Contusions here and there or soreness. So this is the time where you just kind of get your legs back under yourself, and it's all mental. The meetings are what's important here. Communicating, being able to tell your coach what's going on, and then studying film breakdown of your opponents, understanding down the distance, what they like to do on third downs, what they like to do on second and short, second and long situations, personnel
so
packages.
The details, the small stuff is what's happening the next couple of weeks.
It's just all details right now. And getting the tools shored up. Now the tools, anybody that's still in the battle are going to be going still full speed. You know what I mean?
Trying to earn that spot.
Yeah, but then there's an opportunity for your guys that are backups when they're giving the scout team look to earn the spot, because you'll be going against the first team offense if you're on defense, giving a look for whoever we're playing. And so this is your chance to earn some more love from the coaches, because they're asking you to pretend like you're the other team. So if you go out there and make plays, then then it matters. Like coach, like, man, he's been having a hell of a look this week. We think give him a shot next week. You know what I mean? And same vice versa for the defense. If you're on the one defense, you'll be going against the two offense or three offense. Those twos and threes are still in high competition with each other to get playing time. So whatever the look is required from you, whatever the coach is asking you to do to simulate the other team, it needs to be done at a high level to make sure our guys are ready. It's not a time to slack off, but if you're further down the depth, you're still at full go.
Okay, I love that. I think that's a great perception of what to expect over the next couple of weeks, and getting your thoughts on that. I think those are huge things. That transition from school too is, I'm sure it's never easy. I imagine it's a bit easier now, just with a lot of online school and these guys living on campus and having a much better probably living situation than what you had to endure. It's not as crazy of as a transition as it probably was.
It's a relief for the guys to be honest.
To go to school.
Camp life is not a joke, man. Yeah. Camp life is not a joke.
We think it's fun because they're out there playing football, but it's hell. It's when you even like the NFL, like you've seen these hard knocks, like they kind of just go and slum it for a couple of weeks. It's not.
Yeah. And as a kid, most people don't realize, well, they should at this moment if you follow sports. When they're at school during this camp time, nobody's there. It's like a ghost town on campus.
Yeah, it's boring.
The maintenance people are repainting dorms and waxing floors.
There ain't a honey in sight, Steve.
No, yeah. So just to be able to see people coming back, you got new students coming in, you're seeing new faces. It's a little relief for those guys, and just feel like, okay, man, we're back to society. Let's turn up, man. We've been busting heads all day.
That's true.
And you're excited. You're ready to hit another opponent. You've been going against your teammates. I'm sure a couple skirmishes, not scrimmages, but skirmishes. Have broken out, little small fights amongst each other just because of high testosterone and guys are flying around, Steve. Going full speed, hot. Yeah, so you're ready to hit other people and, have an opponent coming up in a week.
I love it. Something we haven't done real quick. $5 from Gator Zig. Incoming, Jaden Woods will be a freshman All-American. Bookmark it. We've done a lot of talking about him. I talked to him last night. One thing we haven't had a chance to do, and for good reason, we've had a lot to talk about, is we didn't break a lot of the clips down like we usually do. And I don't know what that. I think Napier moved his presser, which threw a wrench into it because Mondays became more like this conversation, and we didn't get to go over a lot of clips. But I've been dying to talk to you, and I think the way they were released, I don't know. I can't explain it to you. It just didn't seem like the timing of it always was off. But I wanted you to give us. You've seen the whole camp. Give us a kind of a quick summary or synopsis of what you've seen from the linebacker room and the edge room and the D-line room that you've liked up until this point, just from the clips.
I'll tell you what, we probably would have seen a lot more clips. I've been watching almost every clip they put out. We would have saw a lot more of them if I had something to say. These guys are doing their job, man. These guys are doing their job, bro. They look fantastic. You can see the speed. You can see the body mechanics, the technique. It's all been great. Now, are there things to work on? Always, but this has been one of the most cleanest years since I've been, a part of High Top or watching so deeply or intently. I guess for the past 3 or 4 years, this has been the most clean we've ever been going through these drills. Just watching these guys and their technique, foot placement, hands, even not just linemen, but the skill positions as well. I know football, so I watch it all. And these guys got it going on, man. You could tell that they've were intentional before camp about the work they did in the offseason. I followed a lot of the guys, LJ, they down at training and working in sand pits and doing all these different things during the offseason. Some of these guys took boxing lessons. For people who don't know, your head off target, weaving in and out, doing the rope drills for boxing. So it's been great to see, man. Years previously or years before, we had a lot of mistakes. Guys wasn't low enough. They weren't coming out their hips good enough. They didn't seem as explosive. So to see it, it's just great. And I know you guys seen the new thing Chapman incorporated, where how they do the pads in succession, where one guy go, the next guy go, and then they come back and do it, and then they all do it together. Just keeping everybody in sync, working on fast twitch muscles, and timing, and then you could hear the sound of when they hit the pad, boom. So as everybody's firing out their hips at like almost the same pace. Yeah, some a little slower than others. You can hear it, but just to hear that crispness, man, it means a lot. Little details. It's always the little details that matter, because you get these guys. Everybody's the size. If you're a top D1 program, you're gonna get the size. So like Coach says, is working on the things that don't take size. And then that translate and stuff like that when you're hitting the pass, when you could do it in unison. You're paying attention to every detail. That means every guy that's in the ground has their feet in the right spot. They're ready to fire the hips at the right timing. Because if you slip and hit a pad, if you miss the pad and whiff and almost jam your neck into the pad like the school out west did when they were hitting the pad, you couldn't do that. We're able to do that in unison. I know it just could be something small to a lot of people, but you're able to do that in unison because everybody's on the same page.
That's a hard task you're making look simple.
Could not do that. The team out west could not do that because the coach has. That's why they're doing it individually, because coach has to say, well, you wasn't low enough. Your hands wasn't in the right spot. You didn't come out your hips in the right. So that take details to get him to do it the right way. But the fact that our coach can say, hey, it's time to hit the pad, and we run through it like it's nothing, I don't need to see no more. Now I can move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
can hear getting better now.
Oh, perfect. Now I can move to the next thing and teaching them about down the distance or what this team like to do. If I can't get you in the right stance, get your feet the right way, get you to come out the hips the right way, showing you what's going to happen on third and long don't even matter at this point.
Yeah, because the bases aren't there.
The base is not there, and the fact that we had to talk about coming out of your hips, and
we
the fact that I was so adamant about that meant that we weren't there, but we saw the progress, and we saw when that stuff take care of itself, what you can do on the field. We brought it to the field, and you saw what these guys were able to do. So the fact that we wasn't doing that, you saw the play. We started doing it. You see the play. We're doing it greater now. Just watch what happens.
What's cool is because I've been alongside of you doing this, and I've learned, obviously, by watching and listening to you talk about it. So that's how I felt this year watching it. I go, yeah, these small little things.
Do it. I ain't had to say nothing.
Yeah, these small little things that we used to watch that you like. I remember the first time I watched it was like opening a pop-up book for a toddler. I was like, wow. All these things move, and it's like these are all important, and now so I know what to look for. And it's like, yeah, like you again, it's practice. I understand it's such a small, finite thing, but even Napier talked about it today, and what makes Vernell Brown elite. And he goes, his attention to details. It's the small things that he does well. And look, I thought about me for a second because when I go to the golf course, I'm not the cleanest looking one, and look, that does translate a little bit. You got a little slappiness here and there. Those things are a factor, and so I've learned that over the years that I've found ways to overcome it, but he goes, and Billy said, goes, look, typically it doesn't translate. If you're sloppy, he goes, you'll notice it. Whoever looks sloppy in the sidelines, they ain't gonna play. He had a little swagger about him today. He was
it made
he
a
was
lot
throwing
of
some
sense
jabs.
Too. It made you look at other players kind of like, hey, I need some crispness out you.
Yeah,
like, I get it.
I'm looking for it now. Who's he talking
talented, about? But yeah, is your bow tie right? Is your bow tie to the left when you walking off the bus? Well, you might not run the route as crisp as it might need to be ran, but you're a hell of an athlete.
Yeah,
but it's details. You know what I mean?
That's how you separate yourself in this league. It's true, boys. Almost 400 strong in here. Let's get this likes up. Let's let YouTube know that we're rocking and rolling. Let's let YouTube know that Gator Nation is as strong as it gets, boys and girls.
Most definitely smash the like button. Well, I was gonna say you can tell the type of player. You got some players that are just hell of athletes. You get them the ball, they can do whatever you need them to do once they get the ball. But then you got those that aren't the greatest athlete, but they're very well coached, and their technique and stuff takes over, and they're able to play at a high level because they have those techniques. You know what I mean? And then you got some that are just real good students of the game, and they're just smart. So they're gonna find a way. But if you can get those guys that are not as crisp, that just hell of athletes, to get them to be that dialed in, then the sky's the limit for them. And I don't want to make the comparison. I'll just make the comparison. Yeah, Dallas Wilson, you got Vernell Brown. Even in the interviews, you can tell Dallas Wilson is just a little more edgy, a little more risky, a little more, you know what I mean? Just freak athletic ability that shines. You start to narrow that down, get to his junior year, and it becomes a little bit more polished. He's going to be a hell. But so you get a guy like Vernell who's like that from the beginning. He's just a little more polished.
You can just
may not have as much raw ability,
but
he's maxing out everything you give him.
You can, I think what you're trying to say, you can kind of tell the way that both freshmen carry themselves. Just the sharpness, the attention to detail. And again, just the way that they dress, they look, etc. VB3 has had to work a little bit harder, as you could tell, because of his size. He's been overlooked.
All the tools. He had to use every tool for sure.
He had to. Where Dallas didn't have to, and was able to strive in front of a lot of people because of it. So that'll be something that I'm sure that, like you said, he'll learn and figure out.
I can't wait to see it. Wait to see it. By the time junior year comes around, and he has everything you need. You know what I mean? Not saying that he's lacking anything. It's just like Coach said, to be elite, there's just a thing about you, that the way you carry yourself, that's going to separate it. And I can't wait for her to get there. But Vernell Brown is fantastic.
I love it. Scrimmage growth. We're going to talk about VB3 here, but he did say that the Scrimmage 2 was better than Scrimmage 1 from a physicality standpoint, the chase, the effort, which you love hearing. I think it's very easy for that second scrimmage to be lackadaisical, knowing it's the last one, knowing that the end is near of this hell camp that we've been in. maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like it's one that you can definitely skip past. And he said it was one of the best they've seen. And he went to say today or this past couple of days, it was one of DJ's, and then he stopped saying it. He changed his words and went elsewhere. Because I really think he's trying to tempt the expectations for DJ Lagway, which is it's fine to me. But some names that he brought up, one being VB3, because somebody asked a great question. I think it was Edgar, of like, who has just stood out to you? And he goes, a lot of guys that showed flashes, which is great. But this is what he kind of pulled the dad card on. Like, it felt like dad was talking to me. You know what I mean? It was like, there's a lot of flashes, but I want consistency. Flashes doesn't do anything for me. I need consistency. He goes, VB3, that guy's elite. And then they asked him, what makes him elite. And we went over that. But another name, which I was excited to hear about, was TJ Abrams, who we know of his talent. We know of his athletic ability. We've seen flashes of him on the football field. But outside of that, because of this wide receiver room, haven't heard much from him. So I loved hearing that name. I think we talked about the special teams. Maybe we'll see him more and utilize in there. Maybe we'll see him more in that VB3-esque type and Eugene type of role. And then he also spoke about Jay Sturdivant too. And he just said he's a grown man, that he's a pro, the way that he navigates. And the way I loved hearing that too, because Billy doesn't just throw a name out there nonchalantly. And Studer, whenever when Badger came in, he wasn't that high on Badger. And when I say that, he tempted expectations that, hey, he's got a lot to learn, has a lot of flashes, very talented, but has to get the playbook under wrap. Like he was kind of telling us like, hey, Badger isn't there yet. Now Badger got there late. For him to say this, like for him to impress Billy, don't forget Billy was a wide receiver guy. He was a wide receiver coach at Bama, Clemson. I think he coached not Julio, but Amari
Cooper.
I think he was Amari Cooper. Yeah, I think that's who he coached. So he's been around a group of some top tier. He knows what he's looking for, and he knows how those guys navigate and function. So it's a much bigger compliment than probably people realize. But that's definitely a room that Napier knows what he's looking at.
Yeah. Now I would say this, between the scrimmages, like the second scrimmage, like you said, it could be a time for some of those guys to slack off. But I think that's a testament to the leadership of this team, the veteran guys that are on this team, the Slaughter, the Banks, the Gums, Tyreek, those guys, their leadership is the reason why you don't get that slack off. And I remember this time last year when I went to that scrimmage and I came away and I was kind of deterred. Not deterred, but
was it this scrimmage? Was it the second one that you went to?
It was the same exact scrimmage, yes, sir.
Okay, so maybe I know a little something every now. I find a little pull out of the hat, Steve.
No, the same exact one, and the talent was there, the attention to detail and the focus wasn't there. The coaching up, the leadership from the veterans when a guy's coming off the field. I was looking to see, hey, I saw this guy take a false step. I saw this guy do this. Did anybody else see it? And if they didn't see it, why they didn't see it? And if they did they go up to him and say anything as he's coming off the field or he gets to the sideline? Is any one of his teammates that play the same position come up to him and saying, hey, you know what I mean, on that right there, you took a look, like just coaching up. You got to coach him up. And I didn't see that last time, and it gave me concern. And then it came out. It came out in the beginning of the season. Miami put it on us. Ain't nowhere about it. And then the season wasn't going where we thought it would go. But then you saw those voices come up and step in and say, nah, we're better than this, but it ends today. And they turned the season around. But that level of leadership is evident now in practice, in the scrimmages, before the season gets going. And so I think that's why we're able to have that type of scrimmage where things get better, and it makes me excited for the season. I see what's happening. I see the coaching, players being coached up by veterans going on. I see the veterans embracing the freshmen who they have promised in and saying, no, you're a guy, you can play here. Like until 06, when me and Marcus looking at Spikes, like, nah, Coach Spikes need to get in. I know he might not know every play, but his energy and how he come downhill on big packages and smack the offensive guard and got him doing backflip rolls, we need that in the game. Brandon James, coach, he got to play. Percy, he has to play. Like there were guys that we were vouching for, and even though we knew that we is going to put one of our seniors and have to have him sit down on our defense, we needed spikes in the game at certain points of the game, coach. Like we need that. But that's what I see happening from these guys. I see the veterans coaching them up. I see everybody's dialed in, and that's big. Come to have. I think that's the biggest difference with this team, man. Everybody's brought in, they believe it, and then they're demanding it out of the other guys. And you can coach each other. Nobody's getting mad, nobody's bickering, and they know what the goal is. And so when you have that much attention to detail, great things happen.
It feels similar to that story we talked about it here on the show. I think it was with you, where I don't remember who told it, because it was about Amari Cooper, and maybe Saban told it, and how he comes back to a practice, or Julio, one of the guys, came back to the practice at Alabama, and the wide receivers were running a bad route, kind of had a bad attitude, and Julio, who hadn't been there for however long, it was either Julio or Amari Cooper, I can't remember, walks over to the wide receiver and is like, that's not how we handle business here. And basically still establishing the culture years after the fact of like, this is how you not operate as an Alabama wide receiver. And that seems to kind of be the tone that's been moving through Gator Nation right now, and just the team, if you will. Like you said, it's just the accountability has changed dramatically.
Yeah, no, it has. And it's exciting to see, man. Because nothing gets your gears going. Like, not too many people have won. Not too many people have won a championship in Florida history. How many years has Florida been playing football for? We only have 3.
Yeah.
And so not a lot of people have been that close to it or know what it looks like on a high level to know what that much attention to detail that it takes. You're trying to win the most ultimate team sport game, and you're trying to get your guys to win a championship or to be the number 1 team in the nation, man. That take a lot of selflessness, and you put your pride to the side and allowing people to bark at you and just having one goal in mind. And if you've been around it and you've done it, you know what it takes. So when you go to a program, you can kind of see it. It even pains, like my kids started Little League football, and I go to the park and people know me, and I'm not trying to, why are you not coaching white? Because I'm not here to step on nobody's toes. I know what it looked like. I know the little small things, and it irks me to come out here and have to watch it. You know what I mean? But I can't go out there yelling at everybody. So even going back to Florida, when you see them doing little things wrong, it kind of pisses you off a little bit. So we're in a great position where I can sit back and watch it and just be grateful for the outcome. I don't have to say, well, remember when y'all was in practice, y'all wasn't doing this. If we don't win this year, which we are going to win, I won't be so much feeling a type of way about the players or what they didn't do, because I seen these guys put in work. The ball just have to bounce the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Things still got to go your way.
Weather game or something. Yeah,
that's what people have to understand. It's like everything can be right, but the game still has to be played. If you go back to the year y'all won, I mean, there's some tight ones in there where they had to bounce the right way.
South Carolina, 2 field goal blocks,
right? Like, that's to think about. Like, if you're on the other side of that, of like that, when has that happened? You know what I mean? As a Gamecock, you're like, what the heck was that?
Yeah,
and that two fingertips is what allowed Florida to play in a national. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, people forget.
Yeah,
people forget the cock block. But I watched a clip came up from the Tennessee Florida game on TikTok. It was basically every single play without all the nonsense. And from 06, you were playing. You had the big Boz shoulder pads coming out the back. It was cool to watch that and look for you, right? Actively look for 93. You were just head cut off, unconscious, just wildly running. It was an incredible watch. That energy is nowhere to be seen anymore. But it was fun to watch. But it was also kind of, I found interesting, because I'm trying to like see, like, obviously we've talked to a handful of guys now, and I'm trying to watch like who was that. I didn't feel like they named the players as much as they do now. The acknowledgement that these guys get, I mean, you know everybody. I mean, you know every edge rusher, interior lineman, like they take the time to acknowledge who made the play. Look, even though it was a clip, it was shorthanded. I get that, but there was just not as much like, hey, so and so made the tackle. It was interesting, and I feel like that plays a lot of factor of why maybe some of these older guys, what the reason you know, unfamiliarity with some of them was just because nobody talked about those guys. When Percy caught the ball, it was immediately Percy Harvin has the ball, right? And if so-and-so got sacked, it was like so-and-so gets sacked. Like the quarterback gets sacked. It was nothing so-and-so made the sack. Like
the defensive line.
The small details I noticed. It was kind of interesting to see.
Yeah. Coverage of the games were definitely different back then. And a lot of people didn't get recognized. But that's why we called ourselves the mules. Like our front seven defensive line, we call ourselves mules. It said we do all work, but we don't get none of the credit. Mm-hmm. And so that was the name that we called ourselves. We was the mules. And so whenever you saw a picture of us throwing up the sign like this, that was us. Like it's a pictures of us, me and Marcus or defensive line. We get a play, we put the sign up.
I think
I'm a Sigma, and that's a Sigma sign, but it's that we did that to represent the mules. And so we will always throw that sign up every time we made a play, just signifying that we know we're not going to get none of the credit, but we don't win without us. So
I love that. A little tidbit for you boys. You're welcome. Glad I doing some. I was deep in the books there last night, doing my job here. Boys and girls, real quick, we got over 400 people in here, which is incredible. Football season is alive and well. Be sure. Come on, let them know, Steve. But we got to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Odds Jam. So let's go ahead and play that, and we'll keep on rolling. People are making thousands every month betting on sports completely risk-free. The secret? They're using Odds Jam. Odds Jam isn't just another betting app. It's turning the entire system in your favor, and here's how. Odds Jam uses a strategy called arbitrage, finding odds discrepancy across a sports book. You bet both sides, and no matter the outcome, you will profit. Here's an example. If you bet $500 on Boise State to win on FanDuel and $335 on their opponent San Francisco on DraftKings, you're guaranteed to make $50 win or lose. It's that simple. With Odds Jam's mobile app, you'll get real-time alerts on these opportunities every day. People are making thousands of dollars every month, and to get you started, use the code HIGHTOP for 35% off and a 7-day free trial. I guarantee you'll profit during the trial, and if you don't, cancel with one click, no questions asked. Don't leave money on the table. Go to oddsjam.com now, use the code HIGHTOP, and start making money the smart way. All right, boys. Thank you for that sexy ad, or whoever that was. He's gorgeous to read that for us. Go ahead, Steve.
Not for nothing. That just sounds like free money, bro. It sounds too good to be true.
Bro, it's wild.
It's like, what are we talking about? Like,
I've always
give me money.
Yes. This is a thing though. Like I know my buddy used to do this like without the technology to do it. He was heavily invested like with multiple betting sites. It'd be like, yeah, the odds are much different over here. Like I use this one. Now he would just go and choose that one versus the other one because the odds paid better. And this is like years ago, I would just pay him to make my bets because I didn't this was, I'm talking like 2020. So the accessibility wasn't as easy. So you had to go offshore for all that stuff. So I would just send it to him and he's like, hold on, this odds better in this app. Give me a second. And now you can just play them against one another. I've always felt that way. Yeah, wild stuff to say the least.
Not amazing. Yeah, amazing. It's amazing. Especially if you've been into it and you know what goes to different houses have different things and they try to entice you to come over here. And so to be able to find that discrepancy through this app, algorithm or whatever, is just amazing. It's
crazy. I think that's why they probably are up and running because you are encouraging them to use multiple apps. So the apps are like,
no, for sure.
People will come make mistakes. That's fine.
And then you get advertising dollars. So now it's not even just betting. They're making money from advertisement. So you can pass some of that back to the people that use it. So
it's all interesting stuff. We're happy to be a part of it any which way we can. So it was to keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Amen to that.
More lights. More
AA Dorado, $5 says, since preseason gave you good signs, what will you look for in the lead up to the games on game day to know this team will start hot?
What would I look for?
Yeah, what will you look for in the lead up to the games on game day to know this team will start hot? Maybe just like kind of walk-ups, maybe walk-throughs, the small little nuances.
I won't until the first snap.
Okay.
I won't know until the first snap. Everybody has different pregame rituals that they do. Some people are quiet. Some people are, so I won't know until the first snap. If I was in the locker room, I could tell you, but I won't know until the first snap. And when the first snap comes and that center, as soon as he hiked the ball or flinch or squeeze it too hard and you see our line fly off, and try to break his neck, then I don't
know. Before I get into a ton of analogies here, you guys love when I do this. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But I compare it to golf because it's the game that I played, and I know you think I'm crazy, but Steve already gave me the nod. They're everything's very similar. And so how you just said that is like, hey, the offensive line, if they pop off too soon, we've all played the game. And when somebody says, hey, you're swinging too fast or your tempo is off, right? Like that's what I thought of immediately. Is like sometimes when I get over to the club, you just get a little too quickie. You're too excited. You're a little pumped up. The adrenaline's going. And you throw away everything you've been practicing for the last 3 months. You squeeze the club a little bit too hard. You get a little too quick on it. Your swing shortens up, and then you top the ball. That's the difference between, again, myself and somebody else who may not score as well. Like, oh, how you play so well? I was like, I've just learned to not let my emotions and my feeling overtake what my base. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Right? Because we all can hit a great golf shot. It's connecting them all together and maintaining the energy through and through. You're welcome there for the free advice, boys. Injuries in deep water here. So I love this. Again, my head is always going towards analogies and how I can simplify it. How can I see this? How can I feel this? And someone asked about the injuries, and he kind of laughed. You could kind of tell that he's been seeing the drama behind all of it, right? Of like, dude, he's like, this is par for the course. He's like, nothing we had happen here was atypical. Right. And he was in this game, you need to go to the deep waters. And when you go there, you have casualties. Okay. And so that was very coach-esque talk, I would say. Like, what do we mean deep waters? Nape, we're in the middle of a football field. No one's swimming. And immediately I went to the movie The Guardian with Ashton Kutcher. Okay. Phenomenal movie. Top favorite movies of all time. It's just I know Steve ain't watch it. I told him to watch before the show. He didn't watch it. You need to go watch it. It's great.
I will. What is it again?
The Guardian. There's a scene where kind of like the montage where all these guys are trained to become lifeguards, right? And there's a scene where they take them in the chopper out to the middle of the ocean and they just toss them in the water. And they think they're going out there to do like just a basic drill, and the helicopter just leaves. Whoa. And they're all looking around. They're in the middle of the ocean. It's rough. It's Pacific. It's cold. It's white capping over their heads. And Ashton's like, we got to swim back. Let's go. And so that's the thought process. Is like, we're going to go out there and you're basically leave you to drown. Figure it out.
Right.
No man left behind. If you got to get a cramp, you get whatever, casualties, we'll figure it out when you get back, but you got to bring everybody back. And that's where you have to go because it has to be that intimidating. It has to be that scary. So when it is game time, when you are actually having to jump out, I know this is a crazy comparison here, but when you have to jump out of the helicopter and save a life, you've got to be so accustomed to and so comfortable with doing it that none of that is even processing into your mind. So that was what I thought of. Like you're trying to imitate that as much as you possibly can. And when he said that, immediately this movie came to my head. Hopefully that helps. But what's that?
Yeah, I was breaking up a little bit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. You there?
Okay. Yeah, no, I was gonna say like just the whole injury thing. Yeah. These guys are going hard, man. And that's why you need to have depth and you need to have guys ready because you know there's gonna be a casualty.
Yeah.
You're going into this thing knowing. And so that's the beauty behind it. Once you get a group of guys that know that, it allows you to play with relentless effort. Like that next man up mentality. You just got to give it all you got. And we're gonna have somebody here ready for you. But you don't do anybody favors by saving what's in the tank during these reps. So you hope to make it out with as less injuries as possible, but you know that they're going to be there. And so you don't think, how do I play to not get injured? You just play the game. And you're intentional about your technique and trusting the stuff and putting your body in the right position to make these plays. But if something comes along or you tweak something, then it's the next man. But it's expected. People are getting injured in every team. You know what I mean? It's not as highlighted as much. We have DJ. He's a headline anytime you say his name. I could right now just tweet DJ Lagway and people are going, hey, what's going on there? And it's just nothing. I just said his name.
You put DJ in a coffee cup, people are going to go nuts. And look,
yeah.
Today, some teams had a report again, and he was asked, like, hey, what are some injuries that are going to come up and surprise us that are maybe worse or better than than what's being led on to believe. He goes, well, fortunately, I don't have to tell you that until week 3. So we'll talk about it then. But
right.
we heard today. I mean, I think who was it? Was it USC's running back? But it was Texas Tech. He transferred from USC. Texas Tech number 1 running back tore his ACL. He's out for the season. Michigan's offensive tackle, freshman 5-star offensive lineman, tore his ACL. He's out for the season. So all those things have popped up in the last couple of days. I don't know if they've had to report it, but I assume these things probably happened a couple of days ago, but they also weren't reporting on it as much either. We have more intel than we could ever dream of when it comes to Florida football. And I think we've got to understand that we've got to be a little timid with our response to things because we do get a ton of information. And what we do with that information is important because we don't want it to get to, I feel like FSU's camp has been pretty shut down for a lot of things. They're not allowed to report on a lot. So we don't want our guys to be handcuffed, if you will.
Yeah.
So,
for me, is it broken or is it tore? If it's neither of those, then we good. If it ain't broken, it ain't torn.
Yeah, I feel like if somebody was done,
not a big deal.
I did see Aiden Meisel's TikTok, and Dallas Wilson had the boot on and the scooter, and I was gonna screenshot it and post it and have everyone go bananas. But I remember when Derek Wingo had his boot, he was also riding around on a scooter. So a little, and he was dancing around. He looked like he was in good spirits. They all looked like they were fine. I don't think that if it was serious, I don't think he would have showed it, and I don't think they would allow him to post it. To be quite honest with you.
No. The only thing that sucks is just these guys train year round, and you only have a small window to play a certain amount of games. You know what I mean? So it sucks when it happens when it's close to this time, but they're training year round. Anything can happen. Guys go to their local Planet Fitness and play basketball and twist their ankles. Some of you guys that try to be in shape that are not supreme athletes. But even just the average guy goes to the weight room and tweak a muscle. If you do too many push-ups one morning, you wake up and you can't raise your right arm. You know what I mean? Because you didn't have the perfect form. So it's people getting injured all day. But we're talking about athletes that train year-round at a high level. To not expect any nicks or bruises is crazy.
Waste of energy. Yeah, waste of energy.
It's just crazy. It's either not training hard or they're trained. These guys are training hard. What do you expect to happen? So unfortunately, we only have a certain amount of weeks. So we need those guys to get the maximum recovery, hit that ice, get the stem, all this stuff. Yeah, you may miss practice. Yeah, you may miss 2, 3, 4 days of practice, but we need you for the rest of the season. I
popped my shoulder out playing golf. I had to take 2 weeks off. It still nags me. It still has its issues.
You didn't have stem and all that stuff to help get you there faster. They do. So that's not.
I ordered this thing and Caleb makes fun of me because I had to sit there in bed and ice it. It's been brutal, bro. I was like, my game.
Put you in a full body cast.
Yeah, my knees, bro, my joints. I got 2 little. I've been laying in bed like this with 2 things on my kneecaps and one on my arm. And she's like, "What is wrong with you?" I was like, "Babe, I gotta recover. I got a little man tomorrow. He's trying to wrestle me. I can't be doing that."
The greatest thing about this is we have backups this year, man. We have depth.
Got depth.
We have man. That's the greatest thing. That's the greatest thing.
I mean, this is gonna be a great transition. Also, Steve says Dominic Easley started the Chuck Eater tradition, so we got to the bottom of it.
Easily, okay.
That's what he says.
I know it was somewhere around that time.
Yeah,
I believe it was easily.
All right, boys. Let's talk about this. DJ Lagway, obviously, that has been the topic of conversation. I mean, we just got done going over it. I mean, it's all we've talked about. You put DJ Lagway in the title because it's DJ Lagway. We all want to know what the hell's going on. I felt like we got the best information about him from today. Again, he went to say earlier, he was going to say, I think he was going to say, I wrote it down here. DJ's still on track. Today took team rep, said the most, then he stopped. That's what I typed. I was typing as he was going. That's what he said. Today took team reps, said the most, and then he rechanged it. He goes, he had a stack full of throws for 4 days in a row, has done quite a bit of work, not in a controlled environment. Why that's important is because Edgar was like, is he playing with the ones? And Billy was like, duh. But he meant is he going through repetition as a 1? And he goes, yeah, he's not playing in a controlled environment, meaning I'm assuming running around has the ability to get tackled. Not actually, but you know what I mean, 11 on 11 type. That was what I gathered from it. And then he kind of just ended it because he was kind of getting frustrated. I said he's doing fine. And that's what I tweeted because I was like, he just got sick of trying to beat around the bush. I was like, he's fine. Quit asking me questions. He's doing great. I love the verbiage though that he had his full stack of throws for 4 days. Like just hearing them describe it like you're stacking up like paperwork. That was felt really good to me. And then he got into the quarterback too, which we've talked about. It's been back and forth that Tramel Jones made a stride. Then it was Aiden Warner's job. Like he took the edge. Then today he goes, I have zero clarity on where we're at with that. We don't have an idea of where QB2 is. And I really think, man, we talked about it on Sunday with Cody of how week 1 could look with DJ versus LIU. I wouldn't be surprised if DJ came out for 1 rep, Steve. One drive, and they go straight to QB2. I'm not kidding, dude. And people might be hot. I don't know. And again, if he does that, the 2 things are going to come up. One, it's going to be a question. It's going to be a question of injury. That's where it's going to go. I'm going to lean towards the optimistic side of things of like, we feel really confident in his ability to run this offense, but we also are aware of the injury possibility is still there. And I'd rather build up the second guy and third guy and be as extremely as confident as possible because this team is too good we can't have the fall off and we can't afford to fall off. What we've got here, this LIU game isn't going to move the needle for DJ Lagway. It's only going to move it'll make you feel better, fans. We know what we have in DJ Lagway. I don't need an LIU game to determine to me what DJ is going to do. But what I can use LIU for is a glorified scrimmage to know who is my certified 2, who's got that game time dog in them to turn it on. Aiden Warner might have the best practice going through the motions, understanding it, but come game time moves too quick. Where Tramel can overcome some of maybe I'm making shit up here. Make up for the things he's not doing well in practice, but is more of a gamer. Harrison Bailey too. Those are things I think they're going to figure out versus LIU. So tempt expectations. I know the guys at 1010XL. I know Mark Long. I know what's going to happen if he runs for 1 drive. The injury bug news is going to skyrocket. I'm here. I'm not going to panic. I don't know that. I'm guessing. This is all hypothetical here, boys. But that's my opinion on that.
Yeah. No, I don't think you're far off on your thought process. The biggest thing for me, I believe, when Napier answered that question, when he said he's had a stack of throws, like how he's kind of segued to that to say that, it's the quarterback position. At the quarterback position, you throw the ball. You know what I mean? And so his last injury was a leg injury. You know what I mean? So he's letting you guys know that he's throwing the ball. When it's in the controlled setting just means there might be any live bullet. Well, there are no live bullets or people rushing at him. But at the quarterback position, you're meant to throw the ball. And he's been throwing the ball. He's been making every throw you can possibly make. I think the added thing is when he went to say 11 on 11, he just stopped short of it because I don't think he was so much aggravated, but he still wanted to use it as leverage, playing chess, not checkers. Like, I'm not going to tell you guys everything that we see. I'm going to tell you, DJ is going to be fire. He's going to be fantastic because of the added element that most quarterbacks don't have. And if you do, it makes you a little bit better, and that's the legs. DJ can run the ball. If you guys go look at some of the plays from last year before he got hurt, the moves he were doing, the how he was able to juke people and cut at full speed was amazing. And so I think whenever he was in 11 on 11 for us, the playbook was limited before the other day, before this last scrimmage. So I think, and him saying that he's participated 11 on 11 full out, that's 11 on 11, everybody's on the field, guys, if you didn't know. He participated full out, but it gave him the opportunity to audible and change some of the plays. On some of those plays where you have to read or you have options, I'm sure before that practice, the only option was throw the ball. Don't pull it down with your legs, take off, run, and try to juke nobody. They were blowing whistles early, but I think this last practice, he was actually able to utilize all the tools in his toolbox. If he didn't like something, he could fake it and keep it and run. They might have blew the whistle a little earlier, but sure. I believe before this time, that was not in his toolbox. Coach was not even giving him the opportunity to say, hey, if you don't like this, pull it and run. Or, hey, on this read, you can actually keep it and run. Because it does nobody no good. Yeah, it's the right read, but if you're not going to run with the ball, it's a wasted play in practice. So I think the way they called plays for him before this Saturday was a little limited. which how it was last year. It was limited even in the games. But because of his arm, he was able to make those throws. But I think they're finally taking the leashes off and saying, no, you have access to everything. If you want to keep it, keep it. If you want to run. If you want to juke, juke. And that's going to open up the playbook a lot more. But it's great that they were able to go through this spring and offseason as if you didn't have a quarterback that can run. Some teams don't have running quarterbacks. And so on some of those plays, it just is what it is. But to open up everything and give him those options, I think that's what they finally were able to do this past Saturday, just saying, hey, you can juke. I want to see you cut. I want to see you do all of that. We're still going to blow the whistle, but you're going to have a live rush coming at you, and I want to see you escape.
Be elusive.
Sometimes you may scramble and pick up 15. That's moving the chains. But you don't get to see that because he was limited. Well, because they limited him. I think he could have did it, but you just want to make sure he's 100%. And that missing element of the game is what I believe is just gonna
skyrocket this offense.
Put us over the edge because he's been learning from staying in the pocket. It's like having Tom Brady. You know he's not gonna run, but he's able to do everything to lead your team with his arm. DJ's been doing that this whole offseason, spring and this camp, just using his brain and his arm, staying in the pocket to make the perfect throws. Now you add that if it breaks down that I can run the ball, sky's the limit, man.
I saw a comment. It said that if you want him to win the Heisman, you play him week 1. If
you're chasing it, yes. If you're chasing it, because realistically he can give you 500 yards of total offense.
Yeah, that's what sucks to me about the Heisman is that game could be a deciding factor because of a metric, a number. Right? Like you can go and stat.
That's guaranteed 4 touchdown game for him.
Yeah,
you're guaranteed 4 touchdown at the minimum. If you had to put an odds,
if he goes for 3,500 and 27 touchdowns and 2 picks and goes 10, 11 and 1, that's my point. Is like who I don't get. So because he didn't hit 4,000 because he didn't throw for 400 against LIU. That to me is I get it though. I get it. It's that's where I hate about the trophy itself is that I think that there's plenty of games, there's gonna be plenty of Heisman moments, if you will, that shouldn't factor because of the schedule, because of what they have to go up against, because there will be opportunities for so many moments. When they're up there in New York playing Heisman clips, I don't want to see him throwing 500. Honestly, when Jaden Daniels had it going against Florida, it was brutal being that highlight clip. But by golly, I mean at least it was Florida and not LIU. Had over 500. What's that?
I think we have to find some new metrics as far as the yardage that you expect, because if he plays that game full 4 quarters, he's gonna throw for 350. He's gonna rush for at least 100
and something.
If he's playing all out for that game, that's guaranteed 4 touchdowns. So I think at the end of it, to penalize them for not going to get those extra 500 yards,
I don't think it will.
It shouldn't. So they got to be some threshold of okay, as long as they get over this amount of yards, they're qualified. Then the rest is how many Heisman quality plays or moments did he have?
I get
you were saying. You believe he's going to have enough moments.
Yeah.
But he may not have all the yards because you're not trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got to be give and take. Watch the game. Who was a difference maker? And I think that's what's going to be important. Yeah. The 5th mutant says, "I effing love you, Sheldon. I love you more." Go
Shout out to the 5th mutant.
I love it. Almost 500 strong in here to see Stephen Harris tonight, boys and girls. Be sure to smash the like button, get after it, and subscribe. We're not done.
What are you talking about?
Tebow's birthday. We're not done. We've still got a couple more things to go over that has me fired up here, and this is the big one. This is the one that I got absolutely look, you know me, boys. I get juiced up for nothing, but this had me fired up here. When he spoke about the defense, said, "We're on a mission to play championship caliber defense. We failed to establish this since I've been here. We got to break this down." He even kind of shouted out. He was, "Look, back at Louisiana, we showed progress. We were 120th. We went to 20th, then 11th, and 15th, I think, in his 4 years that he was there. So we showed progress year over year, and we have not done that since I've been here." for me, we've seen it a little bit of a trend over these press conferences. He said it, I think, 2 weeks ago. Is like, yeah, we have playoff aspirations. Why is this? Sheldon, who? Of course, the coach is supposed to say that. Yeah, he is. We hadn't heard him say it much. And then when I hear him say championship caliber team, I thought about our interview with Lewis Murphy, where it's like you have got to talk and think and position yourself and talk about being in Atlanta and talk about being in the playoffs. Of like, hey, you're in the middle of June, you're thinking about Atlanta. You're thinking about these things. Sure. And so for him to say that, it didn't feel like coach speak or fluff, because I think Napier is very coy with his words. This is a mentality. This is a motto that they are trying to instill. And from the things that we've read about everybody on defense, it feels different. From the clips that we've seen, what we talked about, the attention to detail, that's what it is. And the other part of it too, again, Napier's been along championship teams. He knows what it looks like. Knowing what it looks like and how it should function and establishing are two different things, obviously. But it feels like he's now starting to put the two together. I know how it should look. I know how it should sound. I was having a hard time putting it together, but I've seen this before. I think he put it together, and we're ready to play at a championship level. And I think I've said this too. I keep beating on this drum, and this isn't to tempt expectations or to be in fear of DJ not playing. But what I keep saying is, and why the excitement for DJ Lagway, why people have Lagway ranked, why Florida is high on people's list, why Josh Pate put Florida to be in the first round against Georgia in his playoff bracket, isn't because of DJ Lagway. He's a factor. It's everything that's surrounding him is at a level that hasn't been at Florida in quite some time.
Right.
And it starts on that side of the ball. This defense has an opportunity to do what the Muschamp defenses do, just absolutely strangle somebody. So if you've got that, but now all of a sudden, you then also cap that with a running back room that you've seen in Florida, that a running back room that has been potent since Napier has been there, with probably his worst offensive line, now going into the year with his lined up with his best offensive line, with the most depth that he's had, with the most experience that he's had. Those are a dangerous recipe for the rest of the league, and that's where I continue to be fired up. Again, I know you got to go play the games, all those things that have happened, but everything you want a coach to do and things to click are happening. Championship caliber, boys.
Yeah, for sure. I like this side of Napier. What I'm starting to see about his self-awareness and awareness of his team. I know previously that one time I went to the game, last year or the year before that, I don't remember. But I was trying to get those guys hyped at the halftime, and I said
that was 2 years ago.
Napier came in. Yeah, right. So this is even going to help my argument. And I said that Napier came in, I felt like he scratched the DJ booth, like stopped the guys from getting hyped. But I understand him now. I think that was just a testament to him understanding his team. He knew that his guys were young. He knew that the cohesiveness wasn't where it needs to be for them to be celebrating in that moment. So it just gives me more of an understanding of Napier and understanding that he understands teams and he understands what it's like to win or what it takes to win. He understands the environment. He understands the way the team acts and responds to different things. And so in that moment, when I look back in hindsight, he wasn't wrong because of where we were as a program. We weren't at the spot where we could come in at halftime and talk crap and still be hyped up and still go out there and take care of business. Now, I would have liked for them to do that but I was an outsider, not necessarily outsider, but I'm coming in from the outside. I wasn't a guy that was around the team every day. I didn't know the end. I know what it takes when you're in there playing, what we need to be doing. But if you don't understand the person and who you're doing it with, then it can hinder them. And he has to be somebody that delivers the same message. He has to be consistent. So in that game, he couldn't just be up high and then in the next week be a whole nother person. He had to be the same person with his team that year because we weren't where we needed to be. I was trying to force energy into something that wasn't able to hold it.
Yeah,
it might have worked for this game, but then what does it
look
do
at all
for
of
your
us
program?
growing, Steve? You know what I mean?
Yes. What does it do for your program? And so now, just to see how he's opening himself up, and speaking a little more spicy, it's still not what other coaches would do, but it's different for him.
Yeah.
But because he understands his team, he understands where they are, he understands the leadership, he understands the foundation that's been set there, and it's been tested, it's been rattled. They came to the cage and boy went to shaking that like all the hinges should have fell off. But these guys were resilient.
We want the Lions in.
No, yeah, right. But they've done that, and so what we're seeing is a reflection of where the team is now. So I think we got to take what he's doing and what he's giving us now and compare it to the old Billy. And I would say we've actually grown. We're you stupid Sean. I would say we're actually growing.
They gave me, bro.
Yeah, no, but his energy is definitely changing. Right now, I would say he's like the perfect mix of Urban and Zook right now, just in his personality of how it's kind of shifting. It's a mix. Because Zook was always a player's coach, a little more animated, but always a player's coach.
Yeah.
Herb was not animated. He was way more serious and way more stern and straight of how this is what we need to do to get this thing done.
And you guys had the perfect combo.
I think Billy gives Herb energy, but still player coach-esque. Like he's not, you know what I mean? He still wants to have that relationship with the players.
Yeah.
And so I think it's finally starting to blend because the talent is meeting, the culture is meeting. You know what I mean? He didn't come in and just start kicking people off the team, but he still demanded strictness and what the culture is not going to be and how we're going to run this thing.
Yeah.
And you saw kind of how guys get weeded out. Herb came in and just chopped the head off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Zook was a player's coach. People wanted to play for him. You saw Zook got fired and we carried him off the field on my shoulders. I got him on my shoulders like, nah, this is our guy. We suck like hell, but we carried the coach off the field. You know what I mean? But it speaks to somebody you want to play for somebody like that. But we saw that happen for Billy last year, where the guys wanted to play for him. They took accountability, like, no, it's us. And the corner turned. So I think we're getting that perfect blend, and the corner is really turning, and he's still trying not to pump them up too hard because I know he believes in these guys, but he knows that they're right there. And so you got to give them the right amount of belief and juice, but at the same time, make sure they know that, hey, it's on you. You got to take it. Because I think he took a lot of bullets for guys in the previous years and then just come in and say, no, we showed them what to do. They're not doing it. We got too many men on the field. They're not effing paying attention. You know, like he could have came out and did, because who was not telling you where you need to be? But he kind of was like a little something reserved and not trying to. I'm gonna take these bullets for y'all, but I need y'all to show up.
Real quick though, gotta lock the Lions in.
That Rick Ross good dog. Lock them in.
Lock them in the cage. Lock the Lions in. Bro, when Soak posted, bro, that one and the chicken one.
He's the king. The chicken one, bro, of memes, boy. Oh my god,
bro. The chicken one, it kills me every time. He goes, I will Harris be selling these quarterbacks to Gainesville. He's like, you have chickens everywhere. Quack, 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 quack. Bro. Oh my god.
Chef, he the man with these memes, bro. I'm not gonna lie, he's too funny. I see why they don't like him. Yeah, I couldn't be. I'm glad we both Gators, and he's not like a Florida State fan or something. Oh my god,
dude, he'd just make your skin crawl if he wasn't on the same side. He's like the perfect guy. It's like you love to have him. You would hate to be against him. I'm telling you, I've seen it. Sometimes I'm like, damn. Knock the Lions in. But what I was going to say to that point, I was talking to my buddy about it just yesterday because we were talking about golf, and how Scotty Scheffler and a lot of these newer golfers, they don't really carry this swagger that Tiger did, and this energy and this aura, like Michael Jordan too, where they were just dogs, if you will. And they could just navigate this world and talk. Kobe could talk the talk and just have it. Not everybody can do that. That's. And what happened was that was amplified. It was marketed very well. So everyone, myself included, thought that you could just go out there and talk smack and play games. That's
you just make it happen.
yeah. Right. And look, your 06 team and 08 team, that era of football was very similar. That's not easy to maintain. Hence why our guy pulled a heart attack. Okay. It's not easy to maintain that over a period of time because it is a very hard thing that ebbs and flow. And like you just said, you lived in that era. That's how you are. And there's a point too where you've got to create such a phenomenal base that you can, in a sense, slack off. You can go have a little bit of swagger about you because you're so dang good that you can kind of look over here for a second. And like you said, those cats were nowhere near that. You can't be going hee-hawing up and down this football field. What are you talking about? I got 12 guys on the football field. You need to be in here watching. Like your whole mindset's in the wrong place. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. I think that was a great kind of full circle moment because you were very, I mean, again, and I was on your side. We don't know any different, right? We were all very critical. Very critical of that.
I was livid in that moment and the energy. I'm like, nah, this is like, no. But I understand it well now. Never been a head coach. Never. And never been around that many teams. And so just Billy is slowly winning me. But Lord Jesus, don't say it, Steve.
I was going to say that. Let me go first. Billy, last year I kept saying that Billy cheated on me and we're not sleeping in the same bed. I'm at the point now where I've brought a mistress home for him in case I don't do enough. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
I'm tired tonight. Yeah, Billy.
We're good. You know, I'll rub your feet tomorrow. That's okay.
He's winning, Billy. I was just going on record and said,
Steve's going down the hill.
Go down in history as one of the top great quarterbacks of Florida.
Billy is or DJ is?
Coaches. One of the top great coaches of Florida.
This could be a big one.
He'll be mentioned with the Herbs and Spurrier. I was just gonna say
I'm gonna let
he will be mentioned with the Herb and Spurrier, bro.
Look at Dave shamelessly plugging his burner account.
I'm almost guaranteeing. In this day, championships are hard to guarantee, but I'm guaranteeing that he definitely gonna get one. I want to say
you're trying to get us canceled, Steve. This is unbelievable.
I'm not. I just been around it. I know the energy, what he's giving off, seeing the sample, and what he's changed over time. His contract was 7 years.
Yeah,
I didn't know that it was 7 years. I thought it was 5. If I'd have known it was 7, I would have been a little more reserved. But knowing that it's 7, over 7 years, you can only guarantee only one championship. So for everybody who's all up in arms, he got a 7-year contract. He guaranteed us 2, 3, or 4. He
did LeBron us.
Out of one contract, you only expecting one championship or one super great run. Anything can happen.
Q Lee just spit out his H2O. He said,
"Yes, I know." But what he's built off the field and on the field now. The off the field has to come first. Off the field has to come first. You can't make it to the field if you don't take care of off the field. So what he's built, and at the same time acquiring the right talent with the amount of time that they gave him, and he said it was going to be a long build, I can see it coming. But it's something that's sustainable. The things that they've built since Billy been here, if you got rid of him today, they must keep going. Only thing changes it's the head coach. Everything else has to stay the same. You can't possibly bring anything else greater than what he's been building here.
I get because it established such a strong, the train's moving, the locomotive.
Savannah Bailey coming with him to Florida. If Billy leaves, Savannah must stay.
Steve preaching, boys. I mean, this man's dying on the. You went from Billy's winning you over to just putting him in the Ring of Honor. That's where you went.
Listen, Steve, I know it got to be done on the field.
Steve,
and I know he knows that.
You got to lock the Lions in.
This is a message to the players. Live up to y'all end of the bargain. Live up to y'all end of the bargain. Y'all got everything. You got the greatest facilities. You get to go to Tokyo, Japan. Y'all going on 1,000 trips. The weight room is phenomenal. You got time to live up to y'all end of the bargain. Just from watching and being a part and seeing Billy's held his tongue a lot on some of you guys. Some was not deserving. He could have trashed some of y'all, but he didn't. He's given an opportunity and he's believing in some of you guys. It's our time to own up to it because everything, the foundation is laid. You got Coach Chapman. You got Ron Roberts. You got anything you could possibly need. It's just our turn to live up to it.
Here's what I love about what you just did there, because I call out people all the time for not standing 10 toes down on what they believe. And I've said it since the Ole Miss game that I'm all in on Nape. And I've and myself has sat behind the shadows, waiting for what we've all been talking about to click for me to go, I told you so, right? But I haven't come out as confidently as you and even said, like, because genuinely, I think, look, if it plays out like we all believe that it could be, you're 100% right. Like, how do you not? He's going to give us some in a DJ Lagway and some of these players that are going to go down in Florida history if this season can go the way that we all believe it should go. And I love what you said. It's up to the players. We've given you everything that we can. This is a two-way street. We always want to hold the coach accountable because that's where it lies. That's their responsibility. They understand that. But from player to player, this isn't from fans to player. The fans aren't going to yell at the players. Maybe from a few of them we will. But from player to player, that's massive. People have to understand, like, the fans, like, I get y'all want to, like, kind of laugh and say, I don't see it. But somebody who's played the game, understanding that, look, there's a second half here that doesn't get talked about enough. They've got to go do their part. So I love that.
Because even, I know we talk about plays and everything, all this stuff. With what we have on roster, the work that they put in, I don't care what play we run. How many yards that play is designed to get is the amount of yards we're capable of getting. If it's 3rd and 1, it's 11 on 11. We should always get the 1. We don't need no tricks. We don't need no gimmicks. You can know it's coming in the A gap, and you still got to block it and stop it. I just believe we have the ability to, no matter what, get that 1 yard every time. So no matter what play is called, as long as it's not a negative yardage play, we're going to be fine. And just because of what we have, but it's up to us to get it done. I believe all the people that's been put around them, all the coaching, all the stuff that's been poured. You got Spikes, you got Wilson, you got all these DBs coming back, all these different people, barbecues, everybody pouring into you. At some point,
time to go.
We got to show up, kid.
What did you tweet out today? No more, my bad.
No more my bad. That was the most important thing that he said, and I like that he said it because he gave them room for my bads before.
Steve,
now it's no more my bads. He's done.
Do it with me.
You got the Lions in. Look, he's giving rooms for my bads. But
should we put it on a t-shirt?
When the players came out and said, "Hey, we have to do better," that's when I already knew that he had been doing everything he needed to do. When they took ownership of it and said, "Hey, we got to do better," that means they were missing assignments. They weren't in the right position. That they wasn't told. They just wasn't getting it done. Now, because
Steve, you're on one tonight, Bubba. I mean,
saw it happen last year. Hey, it's season right around the corner, baby. I might.
Hey, were you crying earlier too when we were texting about it? Were you getting a little emotional? I know you're sensitive.
Hey, listen, anything to deal with football and winning.
I got goosey when we were texting.
Man.
You cried.
Get serious around this time, bro.
Did you tear up?
Yeah, I know it a little bit.
All right,
but I know what it can do for these guys and what it does for families and years to come, bro. I'm here. We won in 2006, bro. People still sending me stuff in the mail asking me to sign it. My kids get to still see me sign autographs. Dad, this came in the mail for you. I still got to sign stuff and send it out. It's because we won. It's because we won. And we didn't win just by me being the greatest defensive tackle. I'm nowhere near the greatest defensive tackle that played at Florida. I don't think none of them can match me in passion. But God-given gift and ability, he's giving it to more people. But what's up here? Do you have it up here to make it happen? When we need to block that field goal against South Carolina, I called the play. I told Coach, no, we're blocking it, and we're going to block it on the left-hand side because I've been going against this guy every play, every snap. I said, I know by myself I can smash him and knock him 2 yards back. You line me and Ray up over him. We're going to double team him, knock him back. Jarvis is going to take 2 steps and jump. Coach looked at me. Coach Strong and said, are you sure? Coach, I've been going against him all day. They want to call block right. I said, no, it's block left. I told him block left. We're going to do it. That's why Dallas was crying after we blocked it. That's why Coach ran up and hugged me, because the passion that I played with, I knew where the weaknesses was. The coach wasn't out there. He called them black right because it worked against other people.
Yeah.
And that's what he just believed we were going to do. They wanted to take Jarvis Moss out of the game because he had played all game. They thought he was tired. They told Harvey to go in. Harvey looked at Moss looked at Harvey and said, no, you're not going in. Moss stood on the field. They were trying to pull him out. Moss said, no, I'm doing it. That's the pass you got to know.
That's the hack you're talking about.
Jarvis is an inch taller than Harvey. Jarvis blocked it by an inch. Harvey could have jumped as hard as he wanted. He would have never got it.
That's the difference. That's what you're saying is like that. You got to give me your half. That wasn't coaching.
You got to go do it. It wasn't coaching. Coach couldn't call that. He called block right. I said, no, it's block left. And I told him why. And they believed in me. The story don't get told as much because Jarvis blocked it. Just nobody's really going to say, I'm telling you, Nation right now, I called the play. You guys Strong, you guys Smile, you guys anybody. Jarvis even tells it when he tells a story. I called the block, bro.
You fired up, Steve.
But you got to be out. Yeah, but I know what it takes. I believe these guys have it. They've got all the substance, bro. We gave it all to them. Now
I knew you were crying. I knew you were tearing up when I texted you earlier. Y'all making fun of Dallas for being so. I love it. Yeah, no, how we're so spoiled, boys, that we get to sit here and talk with this champ and to get these insights. I love you, Steve. You the man, bro.
I try not to toot my own horn.
I think that's what's so admirable about that story of like you never talk about yourself, and so that's why you just got to sit back and let you cook when it does spew out.
Yeah, I mean Jarvis had to jump. God had to bless him with 6'7", but when you're out there, you know what I mean. When you're doing what you're told, you know. I knew what every person supposed to do on the whole defensive line. I called all my own stunts. I called however we were blitzing. I was able to make those calls as a defensive lineman because I understood. I knew what teams wanted to do. Ohio State game, I knew every play they were going to run just by alignment. If the fullback was just lined up a little too far over here, I knew they were running this, and I would relay it to people. But that's the next level that we as players must take, and the coaches can do all they want until you take that accountability as a player. Until you're actually a coach and player on the team, you don't go where you want to go. But I believe we have that.
How do we get you as Mr. 2-Bits? I always want to do that, but I'll never be up there. But if we get you out there, it's close as I'll be.
A little oxygen tank because they.
Yeah, no, but we got you. We'll train for it.
It'll be a 7:00 game. It got to be at night.
Got to be in November. Week 1.
Yeah, nah. Mr. 2-Bits would definitely be a crazy honor. I never would wonder. I would do it, but if that idea of going out there in the middle of the field, I feel like I get it wrong. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's okay. It's about having the right passion, like you just said. Hey boys, Gator Nation, let's get a petition started. Let's figure out how to get this man as Mr. 2-Bits.
Oh,
let's rally together. Let's give back to Mr. Harris. Sorley says $5. Says put this in the offering plate, Famo. Preach, Harris.
Much love, Sorley. I appreciate you, boss.
Boys, we're not done. We've had a great night tonight. When I sent Steve the topics, he's like, "Oh, we gonna talk tonight." He was.
Oh yeah.
I
say ain't no studying. It's all passion.
It was freestyle. Yeah. He loves it. That's Kermani McClain. That's not an AI generated photo of an alien. That is a grown man and Kermani McClain,
sure.
Ready to eat everybody and their children this next football season. He looks phenomenal. 15 pounds of lean muscle he has gained. And here's what I love, because a few weeks ago when Napier was talking about Kermani, it felt a little passive. Like he still has some ways to go. That's what he said. I remember we spoke about it on this very show here. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, he looked good. Maybe he's still struggling, from other areas. But But then today comes out swinging. He goes, we've got 3 starters at cornerback. Dejon, Devin Moore, and your guy, McClain, because that's who they asked about.
Mm-hmm.
So he's improved in tackling, his approach to the game, his accountability. He's a new person. He's a new man. He understands how this team looks up to him, what he means to this team, and he's operating and navigating in that manner week in and week out. And this is somebody, and I always make the joke that Napier wouldn't recruit me. Me and Kermani are probably in the same path. We were the loud guy, the passionate, like the fun one that was always really good at everything, so didn't have to put the attention to details because we were just the best guy everywhere we went. And everybody told me we were the best guy that we went. We had cakes waiting for us at our shining day in Miami. Like, that's who we were. And we had to get humbled. We had a big fat piece of humble pie. And Napier's like, now we can work. Now, give me your time, and I will put in 110%, but you've got to give it back. And this is a version of what you just said of him putting it back, giving back what Napier has given to him. Remember when Kermani came on, he came on as a walk-on, and I loved it. I said, that's fine with me. We're getting a 5-star guy for free, essentially. And it's like, go earn your spot. Go show us that you deserve to be a scholarship guy. It's a win-win for Florida. And I thought it was very honorable of Kermani to take that of like, yep, I'll take it. No problem. I'll show you. And honorable for Nape of like, all right, let's go get it done. And he goes to get to pick 6 last year. You see the team lifting him on their shoulders when that pick happens. And we fell in love with him. We were like, give him the scholarship, Nape. He's all in on our team. And he could have stopped there. You kind of already, you've already won everybody over. But it's like, I didn't come here just to be a fun little story. No. I came to be what I was recruited as. The number one quarterback in the country. A dog. Somebody you feared to go up against week in and week out. 1v1, I'm taking it to the crib, baby. Man to man, I'm with my linebackers eat, baby, because I'm McClain. And now, we're starting to see it, boys. Starting to come together.
Yeah.
I love that he was talking about him.
Yeah, no, I love it too. I think the journey of a player, like I said, some of these guys have extreme talent, and you can just see it. And you're like, man, if I could just get them to hone in. And it's not the game, because some players can go out there and just be great during the game. But the higher the level goes, that's the more the mental capabilities come in. Not capabilities, but the fortitude, the want to be a pro. You know what I mean? You have pro talent. But being a professional has nothing to do with the talent, and the coach keeps talking about it. It's how you show up every day, your dedication and attention to detail. And I think Nate said it best when he said you can do good all game or for 3 plays in a row, but that 4th play they take it up top on you and they score. Nobody cares about what you did 3 plays before. It's the one play that when they bomb you as a defensive back, it's one of the most humiliating positions ever. Because you can go all game and be great. You're making tackles, you're breaking up passes, and then you get bombed one play and everybody looking at you like, dang, you gave up this play.
Shot an air ball.
They could have not seen nothing you did all day, but now they're going to say you suck because of this one play.
Yeah.
And so at that position, it takes a lot of selflessness and it takes a lot of self-awareness and knowing who you are. You have to be mature so that when it does happen, you don't go into a rut. You know that you did everything that you possibly do. It was just a great ball or a great catch. But if I got to correct you on, hey, you could have got out that back pedal a little bit better. Hey, you could have did this a little bit better before the ball even got to where it was by your hand to break it up. If I'm coaching all these little things up, it can be a challenge, especially if they catch the ball on you. Now I have to deal with your confidence. So I think the challenge for Kermani was for coach to be able to break through and say, hey, we know you're great. I just need you to be great every second, every day. And yeah, things may happen. If the quarterback beats you with a great throw, that just happened. A great throw, that's just something that happened. But we can't get beat with the little things. And so as long as he continued to do the little things the right way, the sky's the limit for him. I think he's embraced that. He's still young. But I believe he's embraced that and is turning himself into the player that we need. And I think Nate challenged him on tackling. I posted a video of seeing him come up and make a nice tackle. Probably one of the best tackles I've seen him come up and make. He wasn't hesitant. He was sure. He wrapped up. And so that's going to pay dividends. And that was in the middle of the field. You miss that tackle, it's embarrassing. Or you get ran over on that tackle, it's embarrassing. So to see him do that, and he's acknowledged that he's been getting better at the tackling after just challenging him. So it's the other steps, and I like the fact that he's still challenging him openly, because I believe he's one of those players you have to challenge openly.
Agreed.
Because in the dark, he can tell you, hey, I can get this done, but I'm going to challenge you and make sure you get it done. I'm going to let the world know I'm challenging you in this area, and then you come back it up, but I still love you.
You see him there, but look at this photo from last year.
Yeah.
Look at the difference.
Yeah.
That's a demon, Steve,
Yeah.
on the left here.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at the arms, the neck, everything. Yeah. 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 Well, a lot of work, man. Look, even the look at his waist. Look at his waist, right up under the 25.
Yeah,
the way the jersey
the 25 spread out a little bit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a lot of work, man. Oh man, yeah, that's night and day.
It's exciting to see, man. That's one of those fun stories in college football that we fell in love with watching over the last couple of years, and a fun one, man. It was cool to hear. Great questions today, man. The boys were on it. A lot of great stuff, and a lot of great things to talk about. We were hour and a half strong, Steve. I mean, this is probably the longest Mondays we've had. This was Champs Corner to a
My dog can be mad because I was supposed to go get dog food, bro.
We apologize to the dog.
That's right. I got you.
Well, Steve,
you might get some good food today.
I love you as always, man. That was a great show. Boys, we'll see you on Wednesday live at 8:35. It's going to be a banger. We'll see you live on Thursday at 8:25, college football game day show. We're super pumped about that. The first one for the season finally kicked off. We've been rocking and rolling. You guys have enjoyed it, though, so we really appreciate it. 400 strong almost this entire time. Hit 500 at one point.
Button, subscribe.
Come on, Steve. Yeah, like the Lions in. Y'all be good, boys. Steven Harris, Sheldon. Till next time. Peace and love, baby.
Okay, baby. Much love.